Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kibicho YouTube channel. Once again, good evening, my friends, wherever you are, depending on the time zone that you are in. I just salute you in the mighty name of God. And of course, I take the fact that God loves us, and that's why we are alive today. Today, I'm not talking about Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. We are still there, yes. And for those who have had the interest of joining us, you have done so by now. And I hope that we are moving on well. For those who have come to my office today to collect their receipts, I salute you. Those who came from Naivasha, those who came from USA, those who came from Loilo, thank you so much. I thank God for you. And for the information of those others who have not yet come for their certificate or their receipt, we are still open, but I always request you that before you pop into offices, kindly make a call or drop a text so that you can make arrangements. Sometimes we operate from outside. Sometimes I go out of the office, I go out of town. It is only prudent that you give us a text or you call us before you come so that you don't get disappointed. Sometimes it involves moving out of the offices to go and look for business out there. Thank you so much for being my followers. I appreciate all of you. Today, I want us to learn a few things just for our information. It is important, number one, always to remember that you can also grow without destroying others. Majority of us people, for us people to move to the next level in our lives, we have to literally destroy others, either in terms of what we call character assassination, or by ensuring that the individual does not even exist. That's what we call extermination, or killing somebody so that you may occupy that particular space that he or she is occupying, which is ungodly. The others, they make sure that they use what we call political routes, that they go talking to their bosses, and of course they look for ways and avenues of letting those people go so that they can create a space for you. I'm here to tell you, to remind you that you can grow without destroying others. You don't require to destroy others. This world is so big for all of us. God created a universe with 7 billion people. And I don't think that by eliminating one statistic out of the global population, you have made yourself any better. So I always advise people that, like now we have got Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. There are those people who may feel that maybe A, B, C, D is going to benefit, or maybe why should we give this individual money? And you see, you're arguing from a point of ignorance, because even when you take your money to the bank, it is still your money anyway, by extension, but you only give it to the people that you trust unto. And more often than not, we trust people whom we have never encountered, people that we have never met in our lives, people that we have never interacted, but we still give them our money to be custodians. Sometimes it takes the audacity for you to move on and allow others to exist. Live and let live. That is my philosophy. Live and let live. Always remember that your dreams can be fulfilled without sabotaging others. Well, if you find somebody doing better in his field or her field, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel jealous. God can also open a door for you and you excel. I just like have said, you do not have to sabotage others' dreams so that your dream may appear to be doing well. So, like now, we thank God that since we started Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, it has grown tremendously by leaps and bounds. And over and above all, it is spreading like bushfire in the Hamilton. And I thank God for that. There are those people who would have thought that because Kebisho is going to help those 200 people to realize their dreams, they are going to sabotage it. Like I have been hearing people saying that they want to punish Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I'm not being in politics. You can't punish His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. One of the things that you must appreciate, when Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta leaves the office, you will still remain what we call the former president. What will be your former what? What will you be? Former councillor? Former MCA, what? So we must live and let others live. We can't succeed by sabotaging other people's dreams. We should also remember that nobody must go down for you to rise. Nobody should go down for you to rise. Make sure that wherever you are, you do your best, give it your very best, and appreciate that God has given you that energy. God has given you this presence in this growth with a purpose. Identify your purpose, pursue it, and don't make others to be your stepping stones. No. We all have a value before God. We all have a reason for existence. So one of the things that we must remember is that nobody should go down in order for us to rise. For those people who wait for others to die to occupy offices, they must also remember that they are mortal and they too can die, and the offices that they are looking forward to occupying, they can be occupied by others. So one of the things that we must learn to do is that we must be magnanimous in the way we approach things. The other thing, ladies and gentlemen, that we must always remember that nobody must be shamed or embarrassed for your smile to be sustained. You don't, unless you're sadist, you're sarcastic. You can't afford, gentlemen and ladies, you can't afford to make others go through hell in order for you to afford a smile. That is ungodly. That is actually characteristics of sadists, narcissists, people who have got no feelings of others. But remember, you're a human being, and whatever you subject another person to, God can do the same to you. So one of the things that we must ensure that we do is that we must maintain our Christian values. Do unto others as you'd like them to do. Do not go nipping the buds of talents of individuals, because if you stop me from learning at Amarana, you'll not take my talent and you start learning like I do. Allow me to run and run your race in your life. Always remember that while others are rising, you too can rise. The only thing that you need to ask yourself, we can all rise, and we can't all be at the same level. Just like the seed letter says, there must be people in life always ahead of us. There must be people where we are at par, and there must be people behind us. Play at your league. Do not, please, do not. Remember, when others are rising, you too can rise. And rising is godly, because when God realizes that your heart is clean, that you do not carry with you what we call bitterness because of the position that you are. Some people, for information, they feel bad by Kebisho being a professor, by Kebisho being a doctor, for Kebisho being a lawyer. I don't know why people feel bad about others. Why can't you play at your league? Why can't you do what you know best? Why can't you outdo your best? But don't become jealous of other people, because the moment you become jealous of others, God won't bless you. God would give you what we call a platform to excel. Always remember that finding satisfaction in the pain of others will never bring you true happiness. Now, let me ask you a question. When you kill me and you leave my wife with my 5 children, honestly, when you kill the breadwinner, you are calling yourself a Christian. You have actually made sure that an individual, either by virtue of him owing you a debt or by virtue of somebody appearing to be doing much better, you kill another person. You maim another person. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, you'll never find satisfaction in the pain of others, and that pain of others will never bring happiness to you. How I pray to my God that all of us, wherever we are, all of us, please, it is, and I'm saying it on my national platform, international platform, because I'm being watched even from Berlin by people like Queen Esther, people from like Mr. Moses Kimama from Nyandarua, people like Mr. Moreidi Gari. I'm telling you this, please, you'll never find happiness when others are going through pain. And I have said it, remember, you do not find satisfaction in the pain of others, and the pain of others will never bring you happiness. And one of the things that you must remember, we normally say the same measure that you give shall be the same measure to be given unto you. Do not delight in the predicament of other people, unless again you are out of this universe. Always remember that what you wish others is a prayer for yourself. So if you wish me bad, if you wish other people bad things in their lives, that is the wish that you have in your life as well. So if you wish others, remember, what you wish others is a prayer for yourself. So one of the things I would encourage you to do, can you wish other people success so that success may follow you? Like, since we started Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, I'm telling you that I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I want to thank God for my people, wherever you are. And I want to sincerely thank you. I'm not thanking you because of, it is not in vain. It is because I have seen your commitment. And especially those who even came today from wherever they came from, and those that I got a chance of talking to them. I've been in this office since 8 a.m. in the morning. I want to thank you most sincerely, because you got confidence in me. Some of you have seen me today. Others have never seen me for information, but today you came and you found me here. And you said, Kebicho, because we trusted you even before we saw you. I was so touched by that Kebisho, we trusted you even before we saw you. Now, that trust that you have given to me, I can't betray it, because my conscience is clear. Where we are heading, I'm clear. And I know the people I'm leading, they are all equally bright, and they know when I talk about emotional facts, when I talk about pulling resources together, they understand. Become the good fire that genuinely lights up others. Become the good fire that genuinely lights up others, not the one that ruins the joy, the goodwill, and expectation of others. Yes, please never, ever in life take delight in causing pain or sponsoring the tears of another person. Allow the fear of God to guide your days. Strengthen your relationships and set your course. This is the path to true peace, lasting influence, and meaningful living. So if all of us, I don't know, I have no idea why people feel bad about others. I have no idea. If God has blessed me with, let's say, for instance, this particular building belongs to Dr. Paul Kibicho, it is a clear testimony that the same Lord who has done it to me can do it to you. If you find your neighbor doing pretty well, if you find others doing pretty well, don't feel jealous about it. The only thing that you can do is to ask yourself, are you releasing your potential to its optimum level? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? You see, God, when God was creating us, God knew that we had desires in our lives. When God created us, even now as I speak, God knows the content in my neurocirculatory system. God knows the desires that I have, and God meets the desires of our hearts. And let me tell you this, if you do good to others, God at his uncommon hours will come and bless you. So for those people who have trusted me this far, for those people who have found favor in me, that you can trust me with your resources, that you know for sure Kebisho is out there not to do what others have done. I'm particularly concerned because some of us people shall remain poor because we always magnify what never worked. I have met some people who say, you know, Kebisho, we had a company called this that went down with my 10 million shillings. Fine. If I have been telling people that as much as we know that it is important to take precaution, when you go to the kitchen to cook, you normally use fire. And we know how catastrophic that fire can be if properly mishandled. One of the things that we must ensure that we do is, thank you very much, Madam Queen Esther. Yes, we still have some space. I'm coming to that, Queen Esther. I love you. I like your name, Queen Esther. So what I'm saying basically is this. When you go to the kitchen to cook using fire, it does not make that fire less ruthless. That fire is the same fire that guts down a big building into ashes. We are not ignorant that we have got some people whose children got burnt or whose loved ones got burnt with the fire. But we don't curse fire forever. You do not curse fire forever. Because by the end of the day, usage of fire is inevitable. Despite the danger that fire carries with it, we still use it, but we use it modest. We know what is good for us. How much what extent of fire can we use that serves our interests? When you talk about vehicles, we have had so many people, like now in Kenya since January this year, we have lost more than 800 people through accidents. But that does not necessarily mean that we can't use vehicles. As a matter of fact, I came driving. As a matter of fact, I will still go back home driving. What do I mean by this? The only thing that we do is we take precautions. When you give me money to invest for you, there is much that I can do. I may even tell you I'll give you 14%. There's much that I can do. But one of the things that makes me happy about life is that even if today, God forbid, a lady went to the maternity and the child passed on, God forbid, they don't break the bed. The lady who lost the child does not go cursing the husband. No. Because we appreciate that we have what we call incidences and circumstances beyond our scope. So confidence and trust is built. And over above all, we can tell this far. We can all say that, I can say, for instance, I'm 49 years of age, and I can comfortably talk about all the events that have transpired since I came to know myself. But I do not know what the next minute has for me. That does not make me not work hard for my family, because we all live in a crowd of what we call unforeseen circumstances. When we leave our homes today, when all of us people left our homes today, not all of us will be fortunate to go back home. That's obvious. Not all of us, by the way. Sometimes let us not be ignorant. Let us not be people who forget to look at what we call actual events that take place in life. When somebody went to the politics this year, you went to the politics, you squandered, you spent your money because you had hopes of winning. However, even if you lose, that money does not come back to you. The only thing it leaves you with is experience. However, we have one gentleman from Mulanga, in particular a place called Kagema, who has tried becoming an MP for 25 solid years, 25 elections, and he has been trying. Finally, he became. You see, if you pursue something so passionately, if you know what it is that you want to do in life, God will open a way for you. God will make things work your way. Because what God is interested in, not a faint-hearted person. God requires somebody who says, fine, we have buried people during COVID. That does not mean that even in our mortuaries, that mortuaries were only occupied by what we call COVID patients, or COVID corpses. We still had other people in the same mortuaries who had died out of other circumstances outside this pandemic called COVID. So one of the things that we must appreciate, this is life. So one of the things that's going to make you succeed in life, and I spoke about it the other day on the possibility of thinking, is not to magnify what does not work. Life is a series of risks. We must always, even when I'm seated here, a madman can enter. This building can crumble, and many buildings have crumbled down. Many buildings have come down. But because I can't even be an engineer, for instance. I can't be the quantity surveyor. I can't be the structural engineer. I can't be the electrical engineer. Sometimes we have to take risks. When you take for instance, when you enter into an aircraft like this, and you comfortably wait to be delivered to John F. Kennedy International Airport, or Hamed International Airport in Qatar, or Schiphol International Airport in Australia, or you want to go to Sydney International Airport or Brussels International Airport, you just dedicate your life to God and you say, Lord, I pray that you are going to deliver me to my destination safely. That's the prayer that we make. So, ladies and gentlemen, we must appreciate that life is a series of risks. Even the husband you are married to, you do not even know whether the person who was named maybe after sometimes lands basak. Sometimes he gets out of his normal senses. His mental frame sometimes goes off the tangent. But that has not made us not to marry. We are married. We have had even some marriages where a husband has been slit. The throat has been slit by the wife. We have had some incidences where the father takes a knife and literally slaughters the children. But that does not mean that all of us people will divorce. So those are the things that I want us to look at. So, ladies and gentlemen, because of time, I always like encouraging people. Do not magnify what does not work. The fact that you attempted something, the fact that you started a business that collapsed, that does not mean the end of business. We have other businesses who have survived the harshest economic times. We have had some people who even took loans, and their loans actually, they invested their loans and the company they invested in went under. That does not mean because the money that you had looked for so hard went down that you take a knife or you take a rope and hang yourself. Come on. You do not use what we call a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So can we invest money at Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited? Give me the money like you have done. For all those who have given me, the slots are not yet enough because we have some individuals who have not been able to be up to date. And because those individuals who are still lagging behind 2 or 3 months behind, they have not yet fully complied. That is where I've got some slots now. So if you are interested in Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, kindly, Madam Queen Esther, drop me your email address on my personal number. My personal number is 0722 63021. My personal number is 0722 63021, or you can drop me an email on my email address, either paulkebisho@gmail.com on lowercase, paulkebisho@gmail.com, or Quest Pinnacle Investment without an S, Quest Pinnacle Investment @gmail.com. And I'm telling you, I always respond a record time. For those who have invested with us at Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, I thank God for you, and I pray that God is going to extend your territories. May He protect your businesses, may He protect your investments, may He protect your employment, and may He make you grow by leaps and bounds. For those who are joining just like pastors, we shall never stop making what we call the altar call. Come and join us. Come and join the winning team, because together we shall prosper. And with those many remarks, for those who have dropped their messages on my wall, I want to thank you very much. Thank you so much, Lojas Lemod, watching you and getting the nuggets of wisdom. God bless you. Thank you so much, Madam, once again, Queen Esther. And for those others who are watching me, you can drop me a text before I leave the office. But I want to thank all of you. You can see what I've been working on. This is actually a clear testimony. I thank God. And I'm not complaining, and I'm not going to complain. And for those people who came all the way from Naivasha, I won't mention your names. For those who came as couples, I thank God for you once again. I was extremely humbled. For those people who came from the CBD, Nairobi CBD, thank you so much for coming and finding time to come and say hi to me. Thank you for investing with us, and thank you for trusting me as your chairman, as your founder, and as your dream career. For all those ones that have invested with us, may God bless you. For those who have not invested, I only pose a very simple question. The other day, I said on one of the radio FM stations that for those people who take beer, if you take 2 beers in a day, We are just using what we call the law of assumption, and we assume that those beers go at 250 shillings each. That is 500 shillings per sitting. And we assume that you are so mean. You are so mean. You are a miser that you only take 2, you don't buy any other person. 500, and we assume that you take every day on average. So if you take, for instance, sorry for that. So if, for instance, you take, we assume that you take on average, we are only assuming that you take 2 beers at an average of 500 shillings. So if you take 500 times 7, that is 35 shillings. You multiply by 4, because a month has, that's 14,000 shillings. If you multiply by 12, you are spending, you can imagine how much, 168,000 shillings. And we are assuming that you are, this is more of even of a pastor or bishop who is taking only 2 for the Lord. I haven't seen any individual who goes to the pub and takes 2. As a matter of fact, everybody comes there saying that I'm going to take 2, and 2 becomes multiplied by 10, they become 20. So majority of us, because I'm a psychologist and I study people's thinking, remember, have done what we call behavioral activities of homotherms and poikilotherms in neurolinguistic programming. Most of us people, we don't keep our words. So you realize that somebody alone, on average of 2 bottles of beer per day, in a year, he's taking 168,000 shillings. So 168, assuming that he has been taking using the same trade for the last 10 years, you have spent 1,680,000 shillings for an enjoyment that you can't trace its roots. Let's learn to invest our monies, and let's learn to become good managers of our finances. Finally, for those who pay money in lump sum, if you pay at Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited for 3 years, your returns will have what we call a preferential return, because you have given us enough time value for money. We are not saying that those who pay monthly, remember, one share is 16,000 shillings. The maximum number of shares any member can buy is 625. 625 are the maximum number of shares any investor can buy. So if you multiply 625 by 16,000, the maximum money you can put in Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited is 10 million shillings. So one share is 16,000. So you can even have 2 shares, 3 shares. And for those who are going to join us today, you must pay 1,000 shillings, because one share is 16,000 shillings. If you take 16,000 shillings, you multiply by 6, that comes to 96,000 shillings, plus 5,000 non-refundable registration fee. That makes it 101,000 shillings for you to be at par with every other person. If you pay for 2 years, for 3 years, we give you what we call a preferential return. As we pay others that return on investment, yours will be much higher, because you gave us the lump sum early enough to subject it to the investment vehicles that we put your money into, and therefore you get what we call a preferential return. With those many remarks, God bless you so much. Always a pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to seeing many more people joining us. Shalom, shalom, shalom. God bless all of you. Thank you so much.